Hi, my name is Christopher David Mitchell. I'm a coach, and today I want to share with you why I believe that most celebrities have mental health issues. The people who seemingly have such a successful life are struggling from depression, mental health issues, and even committing suicide more than ever. What is really going on? We're going to dive deep today, so stick with me. So have you ever stopped to wonder and question why so many celebrities are struggling? We're talking about famous actors, famous musicians, people who have the fame, the millions, the houses, the cars, the relationships, and yet so many are coming out with the fact that they've got mental health issues, the fact that they're depressed and even suicidal. I mean, what is going on here? I thought this is what we were striving for in life, aren't we? I mean, society, of course, with magazines and the media and what we're shown on TV, these celebrities are up here, right? They're living the life. This is meant to be the good life that they're living. So why are so many struggling? And before I get into my main reason why I think that so many celebrities and successful people are really struggling with their mental health, obviously before I continue, it's a nuanced thing. It's a complex thing. There's certain different pressures on certain celebrities. Certain celebrities have had a different past to others. They've grown up in a different environment. Of course, there are a lot of factors here, which is why I'm not really naming one particular celebrity, but I think it doesn't take a genius to work out how many celebrities right now are struggling with their mental health. And if you just type into Google celebrities opening up about mental health or depression, or the celebrities who've committed suicide, the list is ever growing. And in fact, it's hard to think of a celebrity who hasn't got to this stage of celebrity fame and not being addicted or in rehab or something like that. It's a pretty common story, and I just wanted to address why I think for most celebrities they struggle with their mental health issues. There also is a lot of pressure on these people. Once they're in the public eye, once, the media can write what they write, people on social media. I mean, imagine being Adele going out on stage about to sing, knowing that everything that comes out your mouth will be on YouTube the next morning. So there's pressure from their management, stuff like that. There is a lot of pressure, granted, of course, but I still think that this next thing I'm going to say is the reason why so many struggle with their mental health. So the reason I believe that so many celebrities are depressed and have mental health issues is that they don't understand how happiness works, and they don't understand their psychology. I'm going to explain this, but they don't understand, they were never taught how happiness works, and they don't understand their psychology. As does a lot of other people in life, by the way. This is not just celebrities, but of course celebrities have made it. Celebrities are a success. Now, I've talked a bit about this on the channel before, but I really encourage you to understand this once and for all, and it's linked to hedonic adaptation. So hedonic adaptation, or the hedonic treadmill as it's also called, is this notion that human beings will adapt their environment and circumstances, and it will all level out in order for them to chase more. That's why you never get off the treadmill, right? So how this works is that, right now I'm in London and I've got a reasonable state of living, and I get used to that. That's my norm. But then if I became a millionaire with a boat and, and going out on stage to 20,000 people, at first that is a step up. But then what happens is it becomes your new norm. Everything in time becomes your new norm. And so you're stuck in this endless chasing, believing in your psychology that if I just get that next thing, and like I say, society doesn't help here, because when I went to LA, I didn't really like it, to be honest with you. The whole thing was a hedonic adaptation nightmare. Like, you can just see from like the cars and the women and the billboards and the award ceremonies and the stars on the floor. The whole thing is built on a belief system that if you're a celebrity, you'll be happy, right? Not understanding what's really going on with this hedonic adaptation, that it doesn't matter what you achieve in life, your mind and your ego really will make it the new norm. And this is done because the ego is never satisfied. The ego always wants more. The ego always wants the next level thing. And so if you don't understand this fundamental part of your psychology, you can end up down a road of achieving all this stuff and being this celebrity and believing along the way from our culture, especially if you're in LA or New York or London, that that's going to make you happy. And then what happens is you get there, you work your ass off to get there for like 10, 20 years or something, and they will realize that they don't feel any different. And at that moment, when they've spent their whole life working towards the fame, the money, the houses, the success, and a materialistic way of seeing the world, they consciously or subconsciously realize that it hasn't worked and that they wasted 10, 20 years of their life getting to that stage. And then they don't understand their psychology because they've grown up with a belief system is so strong in our culture that's the point of life, that will make you happy. And when they realize that they don't feel any different, because like I say, it's their new norm, hedonic adaptation, they have a crisis. They have like a breakdown, a crisis, and then they label it mental health issues because they don't understand and they don't know what the hell to do with their lives, you know? What do I do now? I've got all this stuff. I've got the millions and I'm still not happy. And that's when they say I'm depressed. That's when they turn to drink. That's when they turn to drugs. That's when, because when you're in a game of materialism, at first it does feel good, like I say. But when you're at the top of the game and you've got nowhere to go, you don't know what the hell to do with your life. And then if you've got nowhere left to go, as in you can't stay in that system of just more success and more celebrity and more fame and more money, if you've pretty much maxed that out and you've got nowhere to go, where do you turn? You turn to depression, you turn to suicide, you turn to drugs. So this is when they have this breakdown crisis and they've got mental health problems and they're depressed because they've spent their whole life being nurtured by a belief system that they find out after 20 years of hard work isn't true. And it's sad, I feel sorry for them, and it's a reason why now when you know this and you read about how happiness works, you can be more aware and mindful about what's going on in the world and how your mind works. So some examples of hedonic adaptation might be you buy a decent car and then at first it feels amazing, but then a month after that you're used to it, it's your new norm, and then you're longing after that feeling again of what it felt like to get a new car. So then you get a better car and then you get the hit of that feeling again, and then a month later it's the new norm. You could be the same with houses, it could be the same with subscribers, it could be the same with Instagram followers. You get 10,000, you get a hit and you think, I'm going somewhere, and then 10,000 becomes 10,000. Whether it's 10,000 streams, maybe it's 100,000 streams on Spotify, maybe it's 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Everything becomes the new norm. And if you want to verify this for yourself, just look at everything you've achieved in your own life and ask yourself, did it really fulfill you? It would have had that spark of happiness. I don't think that's really happiness, but it would have had a spark of feeling good about getting to that next level in your celebrity status, we'll call it. But ultimately it will not leave you feeling fulfilled because of this hedonic adaptation principle. I saw this a lot when I was coaching. I used to coach West End clients a lot. And, they get the West End job and then, they're like, oh, this is amazing, and they get that hit of dopamine. They get that hit of like achievement and success and recognition and stuff like that, which is great. But then this hedonic adaptation kicks in, and then 2 months later, it's their new norm, because that's the way our minds are designed. That's the way the ego works, because it always wants more. And then you speak to them like 3 months later, and they're bored, and they need a new challenge. And some of them might even say that they're depressed, or they've got mental health issues again, because they don't understand the game they're in, and they don't understand that they'll never be enough. And by chasing more and more and more, they're actually making themselves more unhappy. So the solution here is to understand your own psychology, how happiness works, how you work, so that you don't go down the wrong path for years and then have a bit of a crisis. So the distinctions you want to make, there's distinctions between, first, fame and success, right? Pursuing fame for fame's sake is, shallow, and, you've got to ask yourself why, because you've got to think, well, why do I want that fame? And usually it's to make up for something that's wrong with yourself internally, like you want more attention, or you never felt loved, or you want to be really recognized. And sometimes you've got to think why and do a lot of introspection with that stuff, because going down the fame route will lead to you, even if you achieve it, having mental health problems down the line, I believe, because I don't think you're going to find what you want to find by just trying to get more famous. And success as well, I see differently these days to what I used to see it as. So instead of pursuing success and chasing success, a bit like fame, that's not the right way to go about it, I think. And I think that even if you did that, the hedonic adaptation would kick in, and you'd get to the point where you were successful but not happy, didn't know what else to do, and then, like I say, you had mental health issues, or you turned to depression. But if you see success not as something that you're primarily chasing, but as a secondary byproduct, then that's a better way of thinking about it, I think. So the first things I'm doing with my life is not trying to be a celebrity or chase fame or money or success. Those things come as a byproduct if I'm doing the more important things in life, which are things like having a purpose in life and pursuing what I believe is a life purpose, what is meaningful to me going forward, knowing my strengths, knowing my passions, doing creative work, doing work that is going to make a difference to others. All these things I'm often thinking about, and those are the things I'm pursuing. Self-actualization, becoming my best self, Then the success will come as a byproduct, but you're not chasing the success. You're not a slave to the success. You're not chasing being a celebrity. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a celebrity at all, but even if I was, it would now be a byproduct. It would be secondary, because I'm just actually authentically doing the things that are most passionate, that I'm most passionate about, and the things that I think are going to value society the most. And by doing that, if these things come as a byproduct, great. But I think that's the distinction going forward, to not pursue being a celebrity for celebrity's sake, but just get in touch with your authentic self and your art and your creativity and your purpose and your passion. And if some celebrity comes of it, cool, but you haven't pursued that head on, and so you won't be lost in the trap of that. So have a successful life if you want, even be a celebrity if you want, but be mindful with this video of the game you're in. Be mindful of the system that you're in. Be mindful that if you get caught in that trap, that addictive trap of, you know, more fame and more money and magazines and attention, you're going to end up down a path where unfortunately so many of these celebrities end up, like I say, of depression, drugs, mental health issues, because you're going to be lost. But as long as you're now mindful of what's going on, of how happiness works a little bit more, you're mindful of the hedonic adaptation, and you do other things as well, like a nice spiritual practice, I would say, then I think you're going to be okay. So that's it for today. I hope it's helped. Please check out my website, christopherdavidmitchell.com. Like this video if you did. Leave a comment. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you didn't. Maybe the only way to find out is try for yourself. Go chase success, chase fame, you know, get 10,000 subscribers, see how that feels. Get 100,000, see how that feels. Get 1 million. Just see if it ever fills any of the voids. Just see for yourself, maybe. But you'll see what I'm saying here now. And just take this concept of hedonic adaptation as you pursue all the things in life. Whether you're becoming a coach, whether you're going to be an entrepreneur, whether you're going to start your own business. Do it, but do it mindfully. And just don't get lost into it owning you, basically. So till next time, I will see you then.